Hello gamers, this is Danny4842 here, back again with another episode, and today is a very special video, and it's my 300 subscriber question and answer video. And I'd just like to thank everyone in the YouTube gaming community for giving me such a wonderful experience being on YouTube. It's been a great time. I never regretted being in this community. It's just you guys taught me so much, told me about a lot of things, and watching your videos, just communicating back and forth. It's a really worthwhile experience, and I definitely wouldn't be where I am today without the support, the kind words, the thumbs up, the subscriptions that you guys have been giving to me up to this day. And I never thought that I would ever reach 300 subscribers, to be honest. To me to be even up to this point really means a lot to me, and I really have to thank you guys out there. It's really cool. So to begin this question and answer session, what I did was I took the questions that various YouTubers gave me in my last video, and I put it into my Amazon Kindle Fire. So do excuse me if I do look down and read the questions to you, but I'm gonna be trying my best to answer all the questions that you've been giving to me, and hope you get you guys to know me a little better. First things first is my first YouTuber gave me a question, was 49Nation1. He's a pretty cool guy. He gave me about 10 questions, so unfortunately I had to cut back his questions due to the fact that I want to get through as many questions as I can in a timely manner. So I do apologize for 49Nation1. I just picked a couple of questions that I thought might be interesting to give answers to. So first question he stated was, what is your favorite color and why? I think my favorite color would be green. Why? I think maybe it's because it's Link. He always wears green. But then again, blue. He also wears red too. Whatever, green. I still like green. So it's just something I liked when I was a kid. Next question he gave me was, what is your favorite Pokemon and why? I would say Pikachu. I'm not really into the Pokemon series, but Pikachu is what sticks out in my mind when I think of Pokemon. So yeah, Pikachu. Next is, what is your favorite Zelda game and why? Of course, if everyone been watching my videos all this time, you know that it's gonna be Ocarina of Time. It's the game that got me to the series that I played 100% to completion, first time ever. So I have deep memories of it as a kid playing it, especially when I was in high school, I believe, at the time. So yeah, I can't go wrong with Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Next question is, what is your favorite console controller and why? So my favorite console controller is definitely the Nintendo GameCube Wavebird. If you watch my previous video with the Nintendo GameCube 10th anniversary video, I did say that it was one of the most innovative controls at the time. Introduced RF frequency that paved the way into wireless controls that we use today in the modern systems. So yeah, that's the reason why. So moving on, the next question is from MeetingFlipper, and what he asks is, what is your favorite development team for video games? And I think my favorite development team right at the moment is probably Retro Studios. They did a great job on the Metro Prime series, reinventing 2D side-scroll into like a first-person adventure game. So I thought that was pretty cool, especially now that their recent project was Donkey Kong Country Returns. That was about last year when I played that game. It was really fun. It was one of the games that I played constantly when it came out. I'm a big fan of the Donkey Kong Country series, and to take the mantle of what Rare did and to make the game in a modern era is pretty cool. So yeah, that's my favorite development team for this time. The next question is from TheSegaStoner, and what he asked me was, why did you choose Nintendo over Sega as your childhood favorite? He's a big Sega fan, and his question pretty much reflects that. Why did I choose Nintendo? It's not by choice really. It's like it's my first system that I grew up with. Honestly, well, actually, I correct that. My first system, kind of like my first system was the Atari 2600. Believe it or not, I'm not that old, but I did play with the Atari 2600 back then. It's because my sister back then actually had that system, and she wasn't into gaming. My parents got it for her anyway, and I was very young at the time. I didn't really understand how to even hold a controller, but I did play with it around when I was 4 years old, I believe. So, but I really didn't get into gaming until the NES, and that's when my parents got with Super Mario Bros. And that really got into me in the game. So it's not because I picked Nintendo over Sega, you know, due to you know, that I want Nintendo over one company or the other. I'm actually into Sega. I do play Sonic games, so believe it or not, I do play Sega games. But you know, I don't really necessarily own any of the Sega systems. But it's actually quite hard to find one in New York City. It's quite I've never encountered one around my area. So if I do ever see one, I do definitely will pick it up. So next, that's the question from TheSegaStoner. Next question is from BobbyShyne. He asked me, what do you think is the best N64 game, and what do you think is the worst N64 game? I guess the best N64 game that's a tough question. There's a lot of them were my favorites. I would say Super Mario 64. That's the first Mario game that went to 3D. It also blew me away when I first saw the game. Of course, another game is Ocarina of Time, Zelda. So yeah, I mean, I have so many games on my mind right now that it's hard to answer that question. And they asked me, what is the worst N64 game? That's a tough question too, because like if you watch my past videos on N64, you guys know that I had to choose my games carefully back then. And if I picked a bad game, I would be playing that game for like months because my parents didn't want me games back then, and that was something I would play for an extended period of time until I get the next game. So I guess my worst game I would say is Cruis'n USA. It's not the worst game ever made for N64, but it's I guess worst for me what I have in my collection. So yeah, I picked that. Next question is from Ramstein fan 234, a next cool YouTuber that I speak to all the time. And he gave me two questions. The first one is, what is the worst game you ever played? Worst game I ever played? I guess it would be not the worst game, but on the top of my head right now, probably Biting Kaitos. I'm just not into the game. I got the game. It's a card-based RPG. I never got into it. I never really finished the game. I played maybe 6 or 7 hours into it. It might be something I have to get back into and play more in depth to understand why some people like it and some people hate it. I don't know, but I just found the card mechanic kind of cumbersome, and I didn't get really into it. So yeah, I mean, sorry for you guys that if you're a big fan of that series, but yeah, it wasn't serious for me, unfortunately. Next question he gave me was, what is the oddest story you have about video game hunting? My oddest story is probably getting this Mario Kart 64. It was the first time ever that I went thrift store hunting for games, and when I first saw this game and I saw it sealed, factory sealed actually, I actually kind of like smiled to myself, and the person like across from me, like maybe a few feet away, kind of looking at me in an odd way. I think I probably made some sounds, awkward sounds, and yeah, it's kind of awkward looking back at it, but hell, it's worth it. I got a sealed Mario Kart 64. Okay, so next question is from MrSpooknanners. He asked me any advice to any YouTubers like me. Well, my only advice is to any newcomers to the YouTube gaming community is to be yourself. When you're making videos and you're enthusiastic about something, and it really shows in your video. If you just kind of fake it, people will pick it up, and I guess people will be turned off by what you present because it's not realistically you. Just be yourself, have fun, and another tip is to do some networking. You gotta speak to people in the gaming community. That way, because when people check out your videos, they'll pretty much comment, give a rating, of course, a thumbs up, and especially they subscribe to you. So that will give you pretty much a big encouragement to progress you to do things more in your channel, and that will definitely give you much more of an edge into producing your content against all the thousands of other channels out there making the same types of videos, meaning gaming related. So that's my only tip for you guys. Just be yourself and do networking, because in life, to get ahead and supposed to get a job, you need to do networking. Sometimes it's not what you do that it's important, it's who you know that gets you ahead. So that's a life lesson, and I think that can be reflected to YouTube and video creation. So I hope that helps you out. Next question is from EdT1138, and he asked me, what is one item in your collection that you could never part with, and why? I guess the one item would be my original NES. The reason why is it is the one that I have in my room right now is the original NES that I grew up with. It's actually the one that you know, I got me into gaming, and I keep saying. So yeah, it just has so much memories for me. It is the first system that I fell in love with video games. So yeah, I can't leave without it. So next question is from RE Lewis 2011 or Re Lewis 2011. I apologize if I butchered your names on YouTube. So yeah, when his question was, of the Zelda franchise, what is your favorite? No, this is another question I answered a couple various times. Of course, you already know it's Ocarina of Time. But recently, I've been playing a lot of Skyward Sword. I think that's highly up there on my list of my favorite Zelda games. So yeah, that's definitely yeah, up there. So next question is from AlphaOmegaSin, and he asked me, what Japan exclusive Nintendo game would you like to see brought over here? My answer to that to me is The Last Story from Hironobu Sakaguchi and from Mistwalker Studios. When I saw the first video in that game, my mind blew away. I definitely love what I saw. The presentation is classic RPG from a master that created the Final Fantasy series. So I definitely want Nintendo to release that game in the US. So I hope they do it. Just something that I want to play, and it looks really a really good series that I know for sure that I'll probably put in lots of hours into it and lose myself into it. So yeah. Next and last question is from MonsterEnergyX. He says, clearly you like Nintendo the best out of the most systems, but what do you like about other systems that Nintendo doesn't have? I would probably say the online system. What Nintendo clearly lacks is an online community like the PlayStation Network and the Xbox Live system. So, I mean, a lot of my friends, they go online, they can find their friends pretty easily, do chatting on those systems as well when they're playing games. Right now, I'm playing the only online game, Mario Kart Wii. I do play that with my girlfriend actually, pretty often, and it's pretty cool, but it feels lacking because you have to deal with those friends codes. I hope Nintendo one day get rid of, and especially during the Wii U, when the next system, they kind of go along with the times, pretty much, you know, expanding on what the two competitors have been doing and improving and get in line with modern day technologies, really. Well, gamers, that's all the questions that I received in this 300 subscriber video. I hope you guys get to know me a little bit better. It's been, like I said, it's been a blast being on YouTube. I really appreciate the support that everyone's been giving me. I mean, a loss for words. I don't know what else to convey. I hope you guys see my enthusiasm through my videos. It's been a very worthwhile experience for me, and I hope you guys continue to watch what I produce in the future. So then again, this is Danny42. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye.